Good morning. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to open up Lightroom, how to add photos to it, how to edit in Lightroom, how to create and add a watermark, and how to export with that watermark. Here goes. So first things first, how do we find Lightroom Classic? Hold down Command, hit spacebar. That'll bring up a search bar where I can type in Lightroom Classic, and then I can simply just click on that icon. While it's opening, I'm going to show you another couple different ways. Instead of hitting Command spacebar, you can also come up here and click on the search bar, and magnifying glass, it will also open up that search bar for us. Or you can click on the Creative Cloud icon here or the Creative Cloud icon there, and it will pull up and we can import from there. All right, the first thing that we do once we have Creative Cloud open is we need to import some photos. So down here, we can click Import. We can also hit Command-Shift-I, and it will bring up the import folder. Or we can go to File and down to, we can also hit File. Oh, if I'm not inside of here, we can also go up to File and down to Import Photos and Video, and that will bring up the same page in all three different aspects. For students, what you need to do is you will have, it'll be like this the first time you log in, and you click here, you go down to Users, you find your student ID, your lunch number, and then you click the little drop down arrow next to it. We'll have you go to your desktop because that's where we keep all of our folders, and then you'll be able to see all of the different folders that you have on your desktop. All right. For me, I'm going to open up Print XC, and here are all of the different photos that I can import. First off, I'm going to uncheck all of them because I don't want to bring in all of them. And in order to select them, if I just click on it, you think that you'd be able to import it, but we notice that the import button is not selected. So we actually have to check the little check box, and now we can see that the import button is available for us to import. Another option is we can just select a bunch of them, hold down Command, and you can select random ones all over the place. And if you hit spacebar, spacebar will automatically put that check in the top corner for you. Let's go ahead and uncheck all of those. If you hold down Shift, you can click on the first one and then click on one further down the way, and it will select everything in between. And again, you hit spacebar, and it will select and import all of those photos. So let's go ahead and import that selection there. It will select all of our beautiful photos for us. And then we can rate our photos. So let's say this one is going to be a 5-star. This one might be a little blurry, so that's a 1-star. Maybe we'll rate this one a 3-star. If we change our mind later, it's like, oh, I don't want to rate this one at all, you can just click on the 1-star and it will disappear. If it's already a 5-star, you have to click it down to a 1-star and then click again one more time in order to unfavorite that and unstar that. So today we're going to be spending time in the Develop tab. This is where we can edit all of our different photos. There's all sorts of different options here, and we're only going to focus on the basic option for today. So if we click the drop down, we're going to go through each of these different settings and what they do. Temperature, we can drop it down to the cool blues or to the warmer yellows. So let's say we wanted to make this look more like it was in the desert, then we can bring it a little bit warmer. Sometimes our camera color balance is off when we shoot, and this temperature and tint are both options to help correct our white balance. So again, we can make a whole photo green or a whole photo purple. If at any point in time I need to reset back to the original, you just double click on a word and it'll reset back to where it was before. Exposure is how light or dark a photo is. So this is underexposed when it's really dark and there's not a lot of light. And this is overexposed when it's really washed out and it just doesn't look good. Contrast is what contrast looks like. You can use that in different types of situations. Highlights takes things that are already lighter and brighter or makes them darker. Shadows is darker colors. Our whites are mostly closer to white. Still grabs a little bit of highlights, but mostly whites. And blacks is mostly blacks, but it also grabs a little bit of those darker colors. Okay, sliding our texture bar. Makes them really soft and angelic like. Um, Same with our clarity. It just adds a little bit crazy contrast on there. And dehaze. If you have a hazy photo, this will help dehaze it. Vibrance. We can bring the vibrance down where it almost looks like it's desaturated, but not quite. And if we boost it all the way up, things just get crazy. Saturation. We can desaturate so there's no color whatsoever, or we can boost it all the way up to the very tip top, and it's kind of like vibrance, and it just gets crazy. If we have both of them up at the top, then your photo is just going to look weird. So let's go ahead and reset both of those. Um, let's look at one other thing. Let's go down to the HSL and color panel. We have HSL, which stands for hue, saturation, and luminance. And then if you click on color, you can go into specific colors. So for HSL, we're going to go in saturation, and we're going to get rid of all of our different colors except for blue. You'll notice that when we slide our purple, it changes the color blue because blue has purple in it. All right, so we're going to leave that, and we've gotten rid of all of the color except for blue. The blue uniform for the Bremerton Knights, as well as some flags and some words and different things. Okay. We're going to pretend like that's good, even though we could do way more editing to it. Now it's time to create a watermark. So normally you go up to File or Edit, but on this one, we actually go to Lightroom Classic. Make sure that it says Lightroom Classic. Go down to Edit Watermarks, and it will allow us to create a brand new watermark. So I'm going to put in Scotty Renner Photography. And then I like to keep things in the bottom right-hand corner. Here in America, we read from top to bottom, left to right. So the last thing ever seen on a page is the bottom right-hand corner. And so that is where I like to keep my watermark. So I'm going to come scroll all the way down and go over to the bottom right-hand corner for anchor. And I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. I also don't want it right on the edge, so I'm going to change the horizontal to 3, and I'm going to change the vertical to 2. This just gets it right away from the edge of the photo. Now we can see here that it's white on the white reflective leg, so I want to either change my color or I want to add a shadow. So if I come in and I have options down here for shadow, and I can do offsets or angles or radius, and I can change a bunch of different stuff in there. If you are selling your photo, you want to pick a center one, and you want to make your photo nice and big, and then you want to drop the opacity on it. So that way, whoever you're trying to sell your photos to can still see themselves, but they also won't want to steal the photo because your watermark is across the center of it. Okay. I'm going to come in here, hit Command C, and select that, and then I'm going to save. When I save, it brings up a name for my preset. I'm going to hit Command V, and then I'm also going to put down the color of my watermark and the location. So this one is center, and then I'm going to click Create. Now, most of you might ask, where's my watermark? I just added it. Don't worry, all you did is create a rubber stamp. And now we have to take that rubber stamp, dip it in some ink, and apply it to our photo. And we do that when we export. So we're going to go up to File, and we're going to go down to Export. Not export with previous, not export with presets, but just export. And when we click Export, we have all sorts of different options. At first, you might have a bunch of these open. Well, let's go ahead and close all those, because the only two that we're going to focus on today is the export location and down here at the bottom for watermarking. So if we select watermark, we can come in here and we have all of our different watermarks, and you can see that I know exactly which watermarks that I'm looking for. And so the one that we just created was Scotty Renner Photography, white font, and it's in the center. I also have other options where it's Scotty Renner in the bottom right corner and it's white. Okay. So we select that, we go up. I'm going to export to my desktop. If you want to put it in a subfolder and create a new folder name, you can, but I'm just going to leave mine on my desktop and I'm going to click export. Once that is done exporting, I have my computer set up to automatically open up a folder and to give me a preview. And there we go. If I hit spacebar, it'll open up, and there it is, Scotty Renner Photography right across the center there. So that is how to how to import photos, how to edit them, how to create a watermark, and how to export with a watermark.